this video, you're going to learn about the 114 chakra system, not 7. You're going to learn about your 4 other bodies other than your physical body, and learn how to heal yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally. But before we get into it, hit that like and subscribe button and let's get it. You don't have 7 chakras. There's 114. We have an intricate energy system in our bodies that influences our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Central to this system are the chakras. They're often described as spinning wheels or vortexes of energy that correspond to specific areas in your body and specific aspects of your consciousness. Most people are familiar with the 7 primary chakras. They form a column from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. However, if you read ancient books or texts or tablets, you'll see that there's a more complex system comprising of 114 chakras total. Out of the 114 chakras, only 108 can actually be worked on. But in this guide, we're going to uncover the nuances of the 114 chakra system and what role it plays in your life. The concept of chakras, it comes from ancient Indian traditions, particularly Hinduism and Buddhism. You can find early references to them in the Vedas about 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. Ayurveda. Chakras are an integral part to yoga, to tantric practices, to Ayurveda. They're essential focal points for meditation and healing. And in esoteric teachings, we have more than just our physical body. This has been proven by science too, that we have more than just our physical body. But in the old tablets or ancient books, we have an energy body. They always said that we had a physical body, we have an energy body, we have a mental body, we have a wisdom body, and then we have a bliss body. So that's a total of 5 different bodies. Chakras are in the energy body, what you call the pranamaya kosha. They influence and regulate the prana. The prana is your life force energy, and it's influenced through channels called nadis. So since most of my viewers speak English, I'm going to go through the 7 chakras in English. You got the root chakra, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus chakra, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, the third eye chakra, and the crown chakra. And when it comes to the 114 chakra system, there are 7 primary chakras or chakra centers. Then there are 21 secondary chakras. And then there are 86 tertiary chakras. Tertiary meaning they come third. Knowing how to align this chakra system helps you mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. In total, there are 72,000 nadis, but 3 primary ones. One is associated with lunar energy, your left side, which is feminine qualities. Your left side of your body is always related to your right brain. If you're right-brained, you're usually more creative, and people who write with their left hand are usually more creative. The other one is associated with solar energy, your right side. Your left brain is more logical. It's associated with masculine qualities. I know you always hear people say, men think logically, women think emotionally. That's not true, but it's true a little bit. It's not true in every case, but overall, it's somewhat true. And then the third primary one is your central channel through which your kundalini energy rises. But we're going to start with the root chakra, because you can't do anything, you can't work on the other chakras if you don't have the root chakra. That's the foundation. So the root chakra has to be worked on first. The root chakra is at the base of your spine, or the perineum area. Its element is earth. Its color is red. Physically, the root chakra is associated with your adrenal glands, your skeletal system, your legs, and your feet. Emotionally, it's linked to your survival instincts, security, and grounding. Spiritually, it's literally the foundation of your spiritual development. That's why you have to work on it first. When the root chakra is out of balance, you can have constipation issues, lower back pain, or even reproductive issues. The yoga pose associated with this is the mountain pose. Meditation-wise, you will visualize a red lotus, or just the color red in general, at the base of your spine, and say an affirmation. Keep affirming like, I am safe, I am secure. That helps to balance this chakra. Now, the sacral chakra is associated with the color orange and the element water. It's right below the navel in your lower abdomen area. Physically, is associated with your reproductive organs, your kidneys, your bladder. Emotionally, is associated with your creativity, sexuality, pleasure, and spiritually, is associated with flow and adaptability. And of course, signs that is out of balance would be kidney pain and bladder pain. Certain techniques to balance this chakra is the goddess pose, pelvic tilts, just emotionally, just meditating and visualizing an orange sphere in the pelvic area, or the color orange, bringing the color orange into your life, into your room. And also when it comes to affirmations, you want to say things like, I embrace my creativity, embrace my creativity. I embrace my sensuality, not sexuality, sensuality. Your solar plexus chakra is in your upper abdomen area. It's associated with the element of fire. The color yellow is associated with your digestive system, your pancreas, and liver. It's also emotionally associated with personal power, your confidence, your willpower, and spiritually is associated with spiritual transformation and your life's purpose. To balance it, you will want to do like the boat pose, meditating, visualizing. You would envision a bright yellow sun or the color yellow in that area. And of course, when it comes to affirmations, things like I am confident, I am strong. The heart chakra is associated with the color green. Sometimes pink in rare cases, but oftentimes it's green, and it's in the center of your chest, of course. Physically, it's associated with your heart, lungs, and thymus gland. Emotionally, it's associated with love, of course, and compassion and forgiveness. And spiritually, it's associated with connection and balance. To work on this one, some yoga poses are like the camel pose, the bridge pose. Meditation wise, you would imagine a green glowing light in your heart or in the center of your chest. And for affirmations, I give and receive love effortlessly. And for advanced studying, the heart chakra actually contains 12 smaller vortices, each representing different facets of love, like unconditional love, self-love, divine love, etc. But now we have the throat chakra. Obviously, it's located in your throat area. Its element is ether or space. The color blue is associated physically with your thyroid gland, your vocal cords, and your mouth. Emotionally, with communication, expression, and truth. Spiritually, with authenticity and wisdom. You will have troubles speaking up for yourself, saying things that you know you should say. Certain people might talk bad to you, talk down on you, and you won't even say anything back. You won't even speak up when you need a raise at work. People who have troubles with their throat chakra, they normally talk in a very, very light, raspy voice to the point where you can tell that they're actually just scared to speak. Maybe they got a lot of whoopings or something as a child. I don't know. But for some reason, they're just scared to speak up for themselves. Spiritually, it is associated with authenticity and wisdom. So some yoga poses that help you balance this is the plow pose, the shoulder stand. Anything you see where they're opening up this area, it definitely helps a lot. Also, meditation-wise, you want to visualize a blue light in your throat. And when it comes to affirmations, you say things like, I express myself clearly and truthfully. You want to always speak confidently. And obviously, if you have a laryngitis or a sore throat, things of that nature, and it's getting worse, then you might need a throat chakra rebalancing. Next, we have the third eye chakra, which is between the eyebrows. Its element is light. The color is indigo. When you have issues with your third eye chakra, you're going to experience sinus pain, headaches, migraines, things of that nature. Spiritually, it's associated with your perception beyond the physical. When you hear people say things about the third eye, it's usually about having a vision outside what the normal two eyes can see. It's like being able to see in the future. Certain ways you can work on this, yoga-wise, you would do a child's pose or a dolphin pose. Meditation-wise, you will focus on an indigo light at the third eye, which is again in between your eyebrows. Affirmations, you would say, I trust my intuition. This is how people receive clairvoyance, psychic abilities. Lastly, we have the crown chakra, which is at the top of the head. Its element is thought. The color is usually violet, sometimes white. Physically, it's associated with your pineal gland and your nervous system. Emotionally, with bliss, enlightenment, and unity. Spiritually, it's associated with your connection to the divine. And when it's out of whack, you will have troubles with your nervous system. You might get panic attacks, super bad anxiety, depression, things of that nature. Some ways you can balance it is with yoga poses like headstand or the corpse pose. Meditation, you want to imagine 1,000-petaled lotus opening at the crown. With affirmations, you want to say things like, I am one with God. I am one with the universe. This one is associated with God or higher awareness, higher consciousness, the universe. So now that we got those 7 out of the way, we're going to go to the 21 secondary chakras. They're on your shoulders, your hands, your feet, your eyes, and your ears. Most people don't know this, but each area that I just named, they're like a portal. So with your hands, you can heal another person with your palms. That's why they do Reiki healing. You can literally transmit energy, electrical energy, and healing to another person through your hands. When you plug your feet into the earth via grounding, that's how you get electrical charges from the earth, and it gets into your body and raises your vibration. This is another portal or medium for energy. And I will go through the 86 tertiary chakras, but it's too many to name and super boring. So just know that you have 86 more smaller energy points distributed throughout your body. And they're kind of like cosmic antennas that influence subtle physiological and energetic functions throughout your body. They actually support the primary and secondary chakras. And when you activate these, they just enhance overall energy flow throughout your body. Your chakras also activate your DNA, specifically your junk DNA. I would say about 96% of your DNA is considered to be junk or dormant. That means we don't even use it for anything. Most people don't use the entire brain either, or even half the brain. Junk DNA is essentially software in your body that's just waiting on you to learn how to use it. Now we're going to talk about a few more ways to make sure your energy is flowing correctly. The first one is shadow work. Shadow work is not just emotional healing, but it's a pathway to spiritual ascension. See, when you have unprocessed trauma, emotions, things you've never dealt with, you've never been to therapy, it will literally create an energy blockage that prevents you from reaching higher consciousness. So people actually go to the therapist just to talk to themselves and do their own shadow work. The therapist is just there to listen. Therapy is like guided shadow work. A lot of people, if they had to sit at home by themselves and just do the shadow work by themselves and judge themselves, it can become too much for the mind to process. A lot of people, when they talk to themselves, they start having crazy thoughts like, who is the self that's judging me? Who is the self that's analyzing myself? And which one of us is being analyzed? A lot of people, when they have inner dialogue, they get confused. They think there's voices in their head. There is a voice in your head. It's just your voice. If you close your mouth and say in your head, I'm the best ever, and you still hear that voice, that's the real you. So if you have any negativity, any childhood drama, something that happened in your past with your family, anything that's keeping you from being confident or having the audacity to claim things and do things, you have to work on it. These blockages will weigh down your frequency. They actually weigh down your soul. So when you leave your physical body, you'll still have those other bodies that I mentioned earlier. You'll still have your mental body. Your mental body will retain your memories. So even without your brain, outside of your physical body, you'll still be able to think and have your memories from Earth. If you ask anybody that's had a near-death experience or anybody that's remote traveled or anything of that nature, they'll tell you they were still able to think outside of their body. But yeah, if you weigh down your soul with negative guilt and shame, then there's a possibility your soul won't be able to ascend. You have to lighten your soul, raise your frequency. You'll be able to ascend past the third dimension. We live in the third dimension, but that's not all the dimensions that exist. What we live in is like a 3D illusion. It's essentially a game. We didn't have to play it. We chose to come down here and play this game. And the game is full of distractions. Sex, money, fighting, women, entertainment, TV, TikTok, anything you can name. Anything that takes you away from spiritual work and remembering why you came here, it's a distraction. So you have to face your shadow, lighten your energy, raise your frequency, remove these blockages, and you'll be able to ascend to another dimension. No matter what you believe in, you probably realize that when your soul isn't here anymore, it goes somewhere else. And when it goes somewhere else, whether it's ascending upwards or just phasing vibrationally to a higher dimension, it's still all vibration and energy. And as I said, you have to do the root chakra work first. If the root chakra is clogged with fear, insecurity, shame, it disrupts the flow of Kundalini energy. And that's your spiritual life force. So that life force will stay in the root chakra and stall you from reaching spiritual evolution. Also, things like extreme emotions like anger, jealousy, or even being way too happy. These are essentially entities that can attach to your energy field and dictate your behavior. These entities are what we call thought forms, and just like it sounds, they can be formed by your thoughts, and they can also lower your vibration. So true spiritual mastery comes from detaching from all emotions and simply being in a state of neutrality. You have to be neutral. When you're neutral, you detach from outcomes. When you detach from outcomes, then it really doesn't matter if something happens for you. You're just going to always have good expectations, hope for the best, do your best. But if something doesn't work out, you're not going to beat yourself up over. I've seen people beat themselves up over a bad situation to the point where they actually lost their mind and they just sit in a room all day and talk to themselves and nobody is able to speak to them. They essentially snapped from holding on to a negative thought too long. The universe actually bends to your will when you detach from your ego. You detach from ego-driven desires and you align with the natural flow of energy. When you align with the natural flow of energy, you embody your divine nature, and then your external realities will mirror your internal frequency. Your external reality will mirror your internal frequency. Your outside reality is usually a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. We also have a lot of food and chemicals that lower your frequency as well. We have a lot of things inside of our society that you have to stay away from. And I do mean a lot. I don't want to name them all because I don't want to get banned, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Also, all of us have ancestors that have moved on. We have ancestors that loved us and now they reached a higher level and they have a perspective that we don't have. They can communicate with us, but we would have to ask them to communicate with us and have the right medium or right channels to be able to understand what they're trying to communicate with us. So there are certain ancestry rituals and meditations that people do. If you don't believe ancestors or angels can even speak to you, then just forget about this part. But I'm just telling you what people have been doing for thousands of years. Another thing you have to do is forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive other people. I know you've probably heard Jesus say that a million times, but it's true. Forgiveness is the ultimate form of energetic liberation. As I mentioned, holding on to anger or grudges keeps you trapped in a lower vibration. When you forgive others and forgive yourself, it removes karmic imprints from your energy field and allows you to vibrate at a higher frequency and allows you to align with universal love or God that always forgives and never holds shame or guilt. Another thing is important to do every day is to be still, calm your mind, and just envision what you want to do. You have to put intention into your day. You can't just let your mind roam with work, what clothes you're going to wear, the Spotify songs you're listening to, podcasts, TV shows. You need to have some intention in your day. The universe will naturally align to your intentions. Even in quantum mechanics, when we observe a certain possibility of our life, we become the conscious observer and we collapse that reality. You can't do this if you never put intention into your day. So you have to remove all distractions, remove all fear, and remove all materialism. These are all things that keep you trapped in the 3D realm. 3D is a limited perspective. The last thing that will help you balance your chakras is to just be like your childhood self again. When you're born, you're closer to being a pure being and closer to source. When you were a kid, you always believe whatever you had in your imagination will come true. You never worry about what people did in your past. If somebody hit you when you was a kid, you was easily able to forgive them. So children live the right way. You should be more like a child. So hopefully this video helped you. If you have any additional questions, just leave a comment or shoot me a message. But other than that, I'll see you next time.